Hey man, how the hell you doing? I've been just fine, living life with the noose, and in my mind, all I hear is music. Watching your mouth move, damn you look stupid. I feel like everyone's a stranger. Small talk with your narcissistic neighbor. She's real hot, but they said to never date her. Ha, I agree, but you did and I hate her. You wanna get away? You better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 Hey man, can I get a favor? Yeah, sure, ha, no, see you later. Sometimes I just wanna be a hater. Gotta wash down the top 40s with a chaser. Your voice starts feeling like a waiter. Scraping my mind against a cheese grater. Before you go, sir, you have to sign a waiver. That's alright, I'm aware of the danger. You wanna get away? You better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 No filter, I got no filter.
Mics are off, aren't they?
Oh, we're back.
Oh, here we're back on. That was a technical glitch.
Hey,
guys.
Master Blaster, turn my mic on.
All
Ooh,
right,
on
we'll
Barter
start off the
Town.
show like we do every time. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Perfect. That's confusing. Could you explain that to me? What does a comma mean?
Hey, thank you, Travis. We got fans out there.
Yeah, we do. Hey, just right away off the top here, I'll thank Trav. He's got one of the Guns in the 701 stickers on his red little Honda Doom buggy out there, and his buddy, he was showing me some pictures of dragsters or something. There's some pimped out cars that look awesome. He's gonna get it on there, and I'm gonna send some more out to him. But we're gonna be well represented in Washington.
And speaking out in Washington, that's even better yet.
Yeah,
Speaking of them stickers, guys, we're gonna have some of the new logo ones made too, right there locally in Bismarck, and we got our website up. So I guess if you guys want to send them to myself, pictures what you're putting them on to myself or to Jamie, I think we'll try to get them up on the website just to brag a little bit of you guys doing it. So that'll be great.
We appreciate it. And on top of that, another buddy of mine, Blaine Stewmiller, he sent me a picture on his pickup there. He's got it on the back window looking sweet on there too. So
all right. And I'm going to start off right away. We picked up our first sponsor, guys. I'm going to throw this in a couple times.
Right on.
Hey, right there. You want to take that, Jamie?
Yeah, you bet. So we're happy to have Lauer Auto Repair as our first sponsor to the show. Hopefully, it's a long and fruitful partnership here. Lauer Auto Repair. If you take your vehicle down there, it's pro Second Amendment shop. Your money's going to some patriots down there, and pro Second Amendment guys. They're hunters, they're gun owners. They're going to treat you right. Hunting season's right around the corner here, guys. Maybe if you got a little something going on with the hunting truck, you want to take it in there, have Doug and the boys look at it. They'll get you running right, because you get stuck somewhere without cell service. That can happen when you're hunting, and you're going to wish you went to Colorado and got that baby tuned up for hunting season. Get it going right. Get that 30-point buck. You get that truck running right. We appreciate Colorado, and they're a great sponsor. We love them.
All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Well, thank you, Doug. You guys we had a lot of fun last weekend. So.
Yeah. If we're saying Doug, if we're saying Doug, I mean, if you watch some of the videos, it's Axel's a guy. Yep. So we appreciate that. He's awesome. So the rest of the guys down there, get your vehicle into Lauer Auto Repair if you got something going on with it. So, all right, Clay. So on Sunday, I took a little. Oh, we're gonna go into the antelope here. Okay.
I thought that's what we were doing. Okay. I jumped the gun. Go ahead.
I said something on the show. Yeah. Well, yesterday I made that little short video, but I'll just go over this real quick. Yes. Sunday I did a little video. We've had some beavers move back in out on the farm, and I come in from bow hunting, and my dad I thought it was a big one, but he said it was the smallest one he shot, laying on the bridge, pretty much letting me know, hey, I got another beaver. So then we drove back over there to look at it, and I said, hey, Dad, why don't you just pick that thing up and we'll say something, you throw it in the creek, throw it back in the creek, So I did, and then just for the hell of it, I figured I was going to put it on YouTube for a short. Well, what was the last count there we had, Clay, for views on that?
I believe it was 686. I think I got an old.
So anyway, I
said here. Okay, this was at 681, but I think we're at 686.
Okay. That was a huge boost. It was crazy. That thing, I thought it was a typo the next morning I got up, but so I said everybody, I'd say what the origins of it was. That was basically the origins of us doing it. I mean, we got, we live in North Dakota. There's not a lot of trees, and we plant them and try and keep the trees safe. And when beavers move in and start eating them down again, guess what we do? Mow them down. Usually my dad does. He's cleaned out a lot of them with the old 6.5 Creed, and some of the comments which we turned off were, "Oh, the guy, you threw it back in the water." Like, we're really going to give a beaver a burial? What do you think happens to a beaver when it dies? That's where they die, in the water. It went back in there. So, we're gonna have a lot of videos coming up this weekend. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. All right, put them babies back up there. Let's get into that a little bit.
Put them up there. All right, there they are. Boom.
Ooh,
there's a couple small young ones, and that's the lead in for our segment here.
Yep. So the reason we got that up there, if you don't know, antelope rifle season opens. There you go. They are. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Hey, Clay's on the ball with this stuff. I love it. Pronghorn bow. I just skipped that. Let's go right to the gun. I mean, this is guns in the 701, not bows in the 7, even though I do bow hunt. So that opens Friday at noon, and then closes 10/23. It's a short season. It ain't like deer season. So my buddy Travis and I, not to get Travis on here, but Travis George, my other buddy, we're heading up. My dad's got a gratis tag. I'm pretty sure his Browning 6.5 Creed's all dialed in. It's good enough to thump them beavers about 100 yards down the creek in the head. So
perfect.
He said crick. Some people are riding them about. I think my dad is actually part of the reason that went so big too. He's
probably,
and he's got that big beard. But yeah, so last week I was up there. We were driving around, and we did see, in my opinion, 3 shooter bucks that were on his property. So, I mean, cool. And there's some other people up there obviously that have some tags too, but I think he's got a pretty good chance of shooting a nice buck, and I'm gonna have the camera up there, either mine or Clayton's, and I'm hoping we can kind of document the whole thing and make a good video about that. So,
one thing I will add that I don't think all the units are open, so I'm gonna put this up here. This is the North Dakota unit. These are the units that they have open right now. I'm in 6A down here in 9C, so that's the units right now that are open in North Dakota, and I don't think there's a lot of over in here. I don't know if you see a little hand on here, but I don't think there's a lot of antelope in some of these units. I know 6A, they shouldn't have probably even opened up the way it looked this year, but they did. Yeah. We got antelope, but nothing like I saw last year.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like our unit 9C there. It hasn't been open since 2008 or something, but I don't know. The antelope looked the same this year as they had before to me, but I guess I don't fly around in an airplane like Game and Fish
like
does.
They do. Yeah.
Count like Kamala, but you know, it's open now, and my dad's got a gratis take, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun, and I'm really hoping
me and
he
my
gets
boys,
in.
we each of us got one, so we got 3 speed goats that we can go get.
Awesome. Awesome.
I can tell you this, guys, I love antelope. And hey, Vance from Georgia, and Vance used to live up here. We used to go out and do a lot of hunting together, and I love, like I said, love hunting antelope. But I can tell you right now, if I don't get one, it's okay. Both my boys, that's what I want to see them get. I'm going to try to do some recording and film them as they're hunting. I mean, I get more of a joy out of that today than I even do myself. So that's kind of where I'm at on that.
Yeah.
We got 3 deer tags too, but and I got to remember, just guys, anybody that's out there that's hunting this next weekend, please shut the gates. It's really dry out there. Don't drive through those really, we had a lot of moisture, and there are areas with a lot of grass, especially that didn't get grazed. Please be extra careful out there, because right now it don't take much to start a fire. And like I said, please talk to the landowners, get their permission, whether it's posted or not. You'll just find that it'll open a lot more doors than it will close. So just have fun and be safe and respect the land, and you'll do great.
I mean, even if you got a fire extinguisher, bring that along. You never know
Bring
if
it along.
one starts, you can put that sucker out right away. I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous to some people, but I mean, that works. I mean, you know, I seen Doug Axel put on their hunting season 2 enough. Yeah, that's right. Trav, he's insinuating that he's ready to bail already. Come on, man. What time is it out in Washington? 6:10 p.m. This guy's ready to go down.
I like this comment. I'm a recovering pronghorn hunter. That's Jason, by the way. Hey guys, that's the guy that he had us let us come and hunt on his private land on his prairie dog town. So again, thanks, Jason. We had a lot of fun. We didn't get the dogs we wanted. It was tough hunting, but again, thanks a lot for having us on there. That was great.
Yeah, appreciate you, Jason. I never met you, but someday I'm looking forward to meeting you. I really appreciate you letting us on there. It was a good time. And next time before we come, can you go take care of some snakes, man? I mean,
the rat. 2 rattlesnakes we killed, and that other one, I should have probably had a
he's
change
there
of
somewhere.
drawers, and I think I know how to jump higher than most,
Yeah, I didn't know Clay had a vertical. Man, white man can jump, I guess.
And that baby buzzed. I was moving out fast.
Yeah, he said he was a wrestler. He looked like a freaking shooting guard going to the basket there. What kind of rifles you and the boys using down there, Clay and ammo, anyway?
We're gonna be using 243s for the boys. Basically, I reload all that stuff for them. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what green bullet I'm using in there. I think it's about I want to say it's 130, but I can't remember.
Soft
it's been so long.
Or something, ballistic tip?
Yeah, just a soft point. Just real simple. It makes a nice straight hole through there.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them are pretty handy with their rifles. I'm pretty proud of them boys. And of course, you've seen the videos. You know that the youngest he can handle a pistol. Well, he handles a rifle just as good.
Mm-hmm. Good. And what are you using?
I'm gonna grab my trusty 270. I've been shooting that gun forever. And in fact, Jason. Speaking of Jason, he was with me when I bought that gun. That tells you how long we've known each other, because I bought that gun when I turned 18, 19 years old.
What is it, a Ruger? You said? I can't remember what you said.
No, mine's a Winchester Model 70. It has the claw extraction. It was the first year that they brought back that pre-64 claw extraction back into the Winchester Model 70s. So I bought one of those, and I put at that time a Leupold Vari X2, which was a very top of the line scope back then. I paid more for the scope than I did for the gun, and that's been my go-to gun. I love that gun. I do shoot 130 grainer through that.
Oh yeah, that seems to be the best for 270s. Yep. I thought, I know I told you a couple weeks ago. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh no, that's okay. And then I'm using the big game powder from Ramshot.
You bet.
That's my round. I can tell you that.
I use that. I used to use that for reloading my Creed, but yeah. And a couple weeks ago, I think we talked about it on the show. A guy I work with, I took. Oh, that wasn't actually the last time we filled in on 1270.
Oh, on 1270.
I took my buddies up. He's got a Savage, and he usually shot 130s, but he had some 150s, and I shot them both. And I told him, I'm like, you better shoot them 150s. They shot real good out of that thing. My dad was the one shooting that, but yeah, I mean, at 400, that thing was just shooting baseballs with it when you shoot 3 groups. So I think Scotty Moss going to be pretty good if that big whitetail hops up on him. But yeah, my dad, like I said, I'm like everything. I mean, everything he shoots now, unless we shoot targets, he brings his 22 Magnum out or 22. He's always shooting his Creed. Now he bought that years ago, and I think he uses he switched over like 3 years ago to all copper, so I think he uses like a Barnes. No, he's not. What's the other one that makes all copper? Not Barnes.
I'm not even sure. I don't shoot all
Whatever they
copper.
are. Yeah, he uses a one. He got some 140s there in Dickinson at Runnings or something. No, that's what he reloads, and he loves those things. So
Great.
I'm sure
No,
he'll be
I'm
using it.
looking forward to it. Like I said, I want to get out there, seeing a few deer around. But we have another season coming up, don't we?
What?
Yeah. How about
What
that?
what could
North
that be?
Dakota. Now I'm
Beaver
going to show
season?
this.
Oh
How
yeah,
about
yeah,
that? So, yeah, we've got pheasant season coming up, don't we?
yeah. And I would say at our place, probably the best I've seen the pheasants in, boy, 4 or 5 years probably. They look great. I don't know how long that's going to last because word gets out, that the pheasant hunting's
Right.
good. I mean, for the first week or two, it should be good. And then there's a big sunflower field north of us, and there's a lot of corn standing there too. And of course there's a lot of cover that I think's really helped out. So 243.
That's why I was laughing. If you saw
I seen you grin, and I had to look over at the comments. So.
Thanks a lot, Travis. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I know what you really mean there.
Pheasant. What do you got? You got something planned down there for pheasant opener or not? Or
I don't. It's been many years since I've had pheasants here. Well, speaking of advance, I'm coming for them. Thing is, we don't have a lot of pheasants left here. Just too many years of drought, and then when we do, like last year, things were looking pretty good, and then we got hit with that blizzard in April.
Yeah, agreed.
And I can tell you right now, it took out so many pheasants. That was a tough blizzard, and so I guess start over. I know we get a little moisture on that. I was telling you about them 2 quarters I got to the west, and that's my honey hole.
Yeah,
I got a piece there that I'm actually getting ready to go disc that up probably next week and get it nice and smooth and ready to roll so that we can put trees and food plots in there. And we're going to make a little haven for them. I didn't cut that whole creek. Contrary to popular belief by so many that us guys who like to farm and ranch, we also like to hunt and fish. And we're probably the best conservationists on earth. And I didn't even cut that draw because I wanted it for them birds. And I'm really hoping to have enough cover there for not just the birds, but the deer and everything, and just kind of make it even a better hunting area. So that's the plan.
Yeah, Kevin says fox and coyotes ate all their pheasants. Up at our place, what did take a big, like Clay said, I know my dad said he found a lot of dead hens after that, and which does hurt, But I mean, there's hawks and owls, and I wish we could just have I'd even buy tags if we could just shoot some hawks or some owls. I mean,
I know.
Oh,
They're
but
horrible.
what about all the mice? The mice, they eat all the mice. Well, guess so. There's more mice out at our place than I've ever seen, and there's more hawks and owls. So that little theory is, I'm sure they do eat some, but give me a break. I'll stick with the poison blocks for them. How's that grab you?
There you go. You're right. Yeah, Jason, I remember that year. You and I, oh my goodness, what a year of pheasants. It was fantastic. And, part of it, yes, there's not near the cover out there. A lot of that CRP went out. I'm not a big proponent of CRP because I don't think the government should be paying you to do anything on your land, and you should stay out of our business. But let's just face it, there was a lot of CRP acres, which led then to just tons and tons of pheasants in the area. So it was great hunting. I mean, it did. It had a fantastic effect on that. But and then you got I tell you what's the hardest thing other than weather on pheasants or even game birds in general. Domestic cats, guys.
Yeah, I've heard that actually.
Both Game and Fish here in North Dakota and South Dakota did a study on it, actually a decent one, and it showed that there was a huge impact just from domestic cats that come from farmsteads. And I see the ones on our place. You see them out there in the middle of the field, and I'd love to just shoot them, but I don't dare. I'll get in trouble, here. I got other people here. But I know what they're out there doing. They're not hunting mice. They're probably going after them little birds.
Yeah, they're not. It's easier for sure. It's easier. Then you don't have coyotes, Jamie. There's no birds here at all. Yeah, we got plenty of coyotes. Trust me, there's plenty of coyotes out there too. I hear them when I wake up in the morning early to go bow hunting. When I go real hunting, I get up and do that. And man, they're howling in the evenings. But everybody out there most of the guys up in that area who coyote hunters or bow hunters too. So they're all dialed in on bow hunting now. And I seen Kevin said nobody traps. Yeah, a lot. That's true. I think some
There's a
people
lot
do,
to
but
that.
most of the people I know, they're snare. They do the snares now.
And I got a couple people around here. I don't know how to snare. I tried it a couple times, but evidently I'm no good at it. But my neighbor over here, who he's a great neighbor, he's getting pretty good at it. So he's going to try and take me out this year and show me his trick. We're going to set some snares on my place and his place. So we'll be covering roughly 5,000 acres between the two of us. So maybe one else. We really want to get them.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was done.
I was just gonna say, if you got 5,000 acres, you guys should get some fur then. Hopefully,
I hope so.
Projection is for that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not too concerned about the price of it. I like to shoot them and I like to get them out of there. And like to trap beaver. Travis.
Travis, you need a stand-up comedy show, man.
I think we're gonna have to have him on as a guest.
Yeah, X-rated version, I guess. But
oh my goodness, so we have to put a warning up there. So, well, so we got antelope and pheasant coming up. We both, you got some plans up there this weekend. I don't have a lot of plans. Going to be out a little bit, but I got my North Dakota Farm Bureau County Annual Meeting, so I'll be pretty busy on Saturday with that. Sunday, maybe we'll try to sneak out there and do a little hunting as well. And then Danelle will be here with the boys on Friday. So there'll be a little bit of action around here, but I'm probably not going to put nothing on the ground tomorrow or this weekend, be my guess.
Yeah. Okay, well, and I'm not going to be carrying a gun, but I'm going to be carrying a camera and interviewing. Like I told Clay and I talked earlier, I'm going to try and do kick a little bit of a live stream off there after the morning hunt there and kind of give everybody an update of how it went. And I mean, we'll see how the service is in my dad's place. It's sketchy, but I mean, we'll see if I can do it. I'm going to do it. If not, either way, I'm going to do a bunch of recording and we'll get a video edited out for everybody and should be fun. And talk to my buddy Wyatt. He's a big bird man.
No, that's
I can carry a pistol. How's that? I'm not shooting birds though. I mean, I want to, but somebody's got to do the video.
Someone's got to do the video, don't they?
Yeah.
And as promised, we got the prairie dog video put together. Like I said, we even showed you some of the misses. We couldn't show you everything, but we wanted to keep it kind of short, and we did. And I don't know. I thought it turned out to be okay.
Yeah. Well, you guys missed on purpose to look human. That's all.
That must have been it. Learned a lot of things. It'd been a long time since I went out there shooting in the wind like that, but it was good. I really encourage people, don't pick the perfect days. I mean, do that too, but get out there in them crappy days and go shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be very humbled, and then you'll learn. I mean, by the end of the day there, we were actually hitting more because we finally figured it out that, we got to do a little something different here. And
right.
We had a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun.
It was fun. I mean, it could have been hammer time and shooting, barrels getting hot and switching guns out. But you know what? I mean, the low times that weren't super exciting, the rattlesnakes made sure they kicked that up.
They made sure they pumped our adrenaline up, didn't they?
Yeah. God dang things, I'll tell you what.
Oh, so I don't know. What do you want to go into next? We got a couple things we can do.
Well, I'll just say in a comment, Lynette doesn't like trapping, and I'm not a trapper myself, and I wouldn't do it, but it's
trapping though is a very, very it's a necessary tool.
You can actually get way more than that than shooting them. So
yep, it's just like going on a dog town. You can shoot, and you'll never control them. It's the same way with hunting predators, and I'm a predator hunter, but I can tell you right now, all the hunting I've done and all the coyotes and fox that we've taken out wasn't even a dent in the populations. And right now there is a ton of coyotes around here. Trapping is a very useful tool, especially to people that have livestock. I mean, it's one of the most effective ways to control those populations, not just for livestock either, but for the wildlife.
Well, we had raccoons that would get into everything out at Dad's, and once the live traps didn't work anymore, I guess we had to go back to the old school traps.
Yep.
And we don't have a raccoon problem anymore. So
that's right.
Hey, Trav, I hate to tell you, Motley Crue are a bunch of leftists, so they're probably anti-gunners too. So,
Jason, if you're still watching, I think you can talk about a little Chevy love that we used to run around.
I had one.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
They're kind of indestructible and fun, but
Yeah, they're gutless, but
they're
they're fun to drive. That's probably why you can't wrap the motor up high enough to blow anything up. So
if he's on here, he can correct me. But if I remember right, they pulled that motor out of that Chevy Love back in high school, and they shoehorned a 302 Ford in.
yeah, people did do that for
Oh
sure.
my goodness! Then you had something, but yeah.
So all right, we're gonna move into a little Second Amendment gun stuff here.
Yeah.
So once you lead us in with that, Clay, what we're gonna talk about?
All right.
Here.
Well, I'm going to try something new. Let's see if this will work, everybody. I tried it earlier, so I'm going to try it again. Basically, this comes from the Blaze, and this happened out in New York. So there, is it coming? There we go. We got it up there, don't we?
There it is, kind of small, but yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just put it up here like this. Basically, there was a guy out there. They were doing a gun buyback program in New York. Go figure, using tax dollars to waste money. They're good at that. So he had a 3D printer. And what he did with his 3D printer is he went and printed out, this is great, 110 basically lowers or parts or basically anything that they were considering a gun.
I don't even think they were functional.
No, they weren't. That was what was great. He went and he did it. And what was it? It's a 3D printer. He paid like $200 for his printer he got for Christmas. He's 27 years old or something like that. Went there, he drove 6 hours to the Utica Police Department to trade in the firearms. Gets up there, and they said, how many firearms do you have? He goes, I got 110. He said then he sat there and negotiated all day with the staff in the Attorney General's office. Finally, it ended with a guy and a lady from the budget office that came around with 42 gift cards, counted them out in front of this gentleman, and they totaled $21,000. They were $500 gift cards. So,
unreal.
So then I'm reading the rest of this article, and here's where I really found it interesting. In this article was the New York Attorney General. She was bragging about all the firearms it takes off the streets and what they were doing with it, and she makes a comment that since 2013, I think I have this up here. Do I? Maybe I got the wrong one. Sorry, you guys. Since 2013, they hosted gun buyback events throughout New York State. And has successfully collected 53 firearms, or 5,300
Since when?
5,300 firearms.
Okay, I was going to say what.
So I was doing a rough estimate on that. So from 2013 to present day 2022, 5,300 firearms. That's 588 guns. At $500 each, they spent and wasted $294,000 of taxpayer-funded buybacks. Isn't that a great use of your money? And it accomplished nothing. And that's what this guy said when they were interviewing him from WKTV out there in New York. I love it. He goes, he called himself Kim. He says, Kim lampooned buyback events for not reducing firearm incidents. Gun buybacks are a fantastic way of showing, number one, that your policies don't work. And number two, your currently perverse demand is causing people to show up at these events and they don't actually do any kind of crime reduction whatsoever. That was great. I'm glad he said it. I'm glad he did it. Supposedly the New York Attorney General now is going to put in certain procedures to stop a greedy gentleman, as she put it, from ever doing it again. But yeah. I mean, the kid did exactly what I've said over the years. Should go find the pieces of junk guns that you got or parts and go and get some money and then go buy a new gun.
Yeah.
So I hope that guy goes and buys a 50 BMG Barrett.
Yeah, he should, right?
Get himself an A82.
I think they're banned in New York, actually.
Probably.
I think they are. New York, California.
Yeah, I mean, the commie states.
Maybe not Massachusetts yet. I don't even know anymore. They got so much of that crap. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, he greedy. He's just going by your rules. You made the rules up.
That's right. He followed their rules and he went out there and got her done. And I thought it was great. I thought it was funny. So,
yeah. Oh, anyway, yeah. I love it when somebody does that. It's awesome.
Yeah. He took their policies to their word. Now they don't like it. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to hit on this Canadian, another feeble thing that somebody's trying to do?
Yeah. You go ahead and take lead on that one.
Yeah, so the little tyrant up there, Trudeau, he's got a gun ban and a gun confiscation in the works. He's reclassified all this stuff and pistols as assault weapons, and they want him to turn them in. But Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan, right north of us here in North Dakota, I mean, they pretty much told him, not happening, buddy. We're not participating in that crap.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they got 3 or 4 lawsuits going against him. I don't know how that's going to work in Canada, but
right.
I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see our friends north of the border here putting their foot in the ground. Because I mean, in my mind, I always thought, if there ever was a secession of states, I think the middle part of Canada would want to be part of any new country we formed. But oh God, he's getting crazy. He's talking about splitting up the union.
Canada's had some horrible gun laws for a long time, and to see that the people up there, they've learned that they don't work too, what they were trying to do. And then when Trudeau come out and said he was going to basically take everybody's guns, you know what? Those Canadians, they're quote nice supposedly, but their rebellious side started showing up.
Well, Trav, you got the BC north of you out there, so it's those Canadians, but the ones I mentioned, I think we welcome them on our team.
Yeah, I think those guys would probably be. They'd be right there with us.
A lot of them guys got coal oil gun stickers on their rigs, and they're just like us pretty much. But
Lynette, they're paying people to print guns, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. They closed down. Hey, they closed down their gun buyback loophole. That's what we can call it. The gun buyback loophole. Yeah, I like that one.
So we're on guns here a little bit. I noticed another article too. The Supreme Court refused to hear 2 bump stock cases. So if you got one buried somewhere, you assume you have one. They're still illegal. I don't think that's going away, guys.
No, it's
one thing Trump did that wasn't good, but
the only way I ever see that going away is if you get a president in there, such as a DeSantis or a Trump or people like that minded. I think Trump probably realizes he did the wrong thing. He was pretty new in office and he was trying to appease what was going on. I'm pretty sure that the whole thing, you got to do something, even if it's the wrong thing. And he got sucked into it. And honestly, if when Trump gets back in there in 2024, I would imagine there's going to be, good night, Travis. I imagine what there's going to be is there's going to be an actual executive order that gets rid of that. Because he did that under a directive. I mean, that wasn't even an executive order. It's just a regulatory thing that went through the ATF. And I have a feeling that if Trump or DeSantis would happen to get in there, you're going to see a deep, deep house cleaning of not just the ATF, but every alphabet agency out there.
Yeah,
and it should be.
You're right, Big R. They can keep Toronto just like, Minneapolis can keep Fargo too. I couldn't care less about that place. And I hated that place when I was a kid. I didn't know why, but when I went there, it was the liberals just made my skin crawl. So it's even worse.
Randy, you're right. They on the
what's the Chevron deference?
And I think what's going to happen there is
Chevron,
you're going to see another case come. What's that?
Isn't a Chevron part of a scope? Or that's what pickup truck, Chevron? Got the old Chevron 1500. I don't know what the Chevron deference is. Randy's got that in the comments here. I thought Clay might know what it is.
Well, I've heard of it. It's what here. Anyway, I think what you're going to see happening in that particular issue with the bump stock, you're going to see that actually come back in a different form. I know that's going to be Gun Owners of America is basically the ones pushing this. I'm glad somebody is. Just you can't stop. You can't just give up on it. Yeah, and I think that's what you're going to see. Because there's several cases out there. I don't know if anyone knows this. It ain't just the few that have been rejected. And I'm guessing my guess is what they're looking for is they're looking for more of a solid case that they can actually make a precedent on. So that would be mine, and that's my deal or my analysis of it.
The only problem I see, there's just so many people that think of Las Vegas with those, and I mean, even people who probably don't have a problem with bump stocks are like, God, if that happens. I'm just saying, I would make them legal, but that's me. But I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should. It's a piece of plastic. I mean, let's face it, that's what it is. And I can do it with my.
Mhm.
Really, I can do it with my belt loop.
So we're kind of treading on some assault weapon stuff here. Why don't you play a little something here from Coleon Ours thing about our wonderful vice president here. Let's touch on that a little bit for Clayton.
Okay, we'll see if we can make this baby work.
Yeah, you can make it work, baby. Make it rain.
All right, here comes heels high, guys.
We have got to renew the assault weapons ban. Let's just always think about the fact that almost everything that can be used has a design purpose. What is the design purpose of an assault weapon? Okay, here you go. To kill a lot of human beings quickly. That's its design. That has no place in the streets of a civil society.
Yeah.
You want to go first, Clay? I can. So
go for it. I'll let you rip her apart.
All right. If any of you guys have been watching me and Clay here, listen to us when we were filling on the radio show. Designed to kill a lot of people very quickly. Pump shotgun was made for that during World War I. So let's get rid of that because that thing was designed to kill a lot of humans quickly. Okay. Bolt action rifles. They didn't invent those for hunting. They made them so you could chamber around quick and fire another one right away. Lever actions. They brought the thing to Abraham Lincoln on the White House, the fairground or whatever they call it there, the courtyard, to shoot it. And then the rebels called it the gun you load on Sunday and shoot all day. They made it to kill a lot of humans quickly, not for hunting. That's a lever action. I guarantee you hold up a lever action for her. She'd be like, oh, yeah, it's an old Western gun. That's not an assault rifle. The hell it's not. Crossbows. Clayton.
Oh, we're bringing crossbows up.
Yeah, that's a hunting weapon, isn't it? Or a hunting tool. It's a tool. That wasn't designed to kill people.
No, that wasn't used at all. The Han Dynasty in China used it. It was a big weapon of war and give them a heck of an advantage. In China, the crossbow was one of the. This comes right here. This is the history of crossbows. China, the crossbow was one of the primary military weapons. From the Warring States period until the end of the Han Dynasty, when armies finally composed up to 30 to 50% of crossbowmen, and that was not unheard of. I mean, think about that. We're talking that's what, 17th century.
I might pass out in pure joy if somebody ever brought that up to her or Joe or anybody if they bring up their stupid weapons of war thing. Tomahawks for weapons of war, axes are the longbow, for God's sake, the recurve bow was a weapon of war.
Wow, my goodness, that's been used.
And they loved it when they could knock another one and let that baby fly as fast as they could.
Absolutely,
spears, knives, people, impossible.
Yeah,
but nobody ever questions them about their ridiculousness because Kamala Harris doesn't know anything about a gun. She probably never shot one. She sees one and gets scared. I see a gun, I want to go grab it because I think it's awesome. She doesn't know nothing about them. I don't know if she did it would change her mind, but
I shouldn't even say the only gun she probably seen as well. That's how she got to office. She was on her knees.
Yeah, what about that card? What kind of card that guy used? Lynette said it's 18-year-old just run down while he was calling his mom. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so
right
now, go
ahead. Well, I say,
okay.
They use this term assault weapon all the time and weapons of war. And you and me, and I mean, we're kind of preaching to the choir here, but we all know that that's not the case. This is a narrative they've been pushing when they can't win. As I've always said, when they can't win legislatively, they try to go regulatorily. And this is only about basically controlling us. So they keep saying that you need F-15s, which, by the way, Joe, we ain't had F-15s in a long time.
Speaking of Joe, he just said last week that AR-15s are made to defend people. His own words. That was his own words. They're made to defend people and defend Americans.
I think
Kamala said it's made to kill people. So are they made to kill as many people? Or guess what? If I got to defend me and my family and my friends, you know what I want? I don't want a musket, but guess what? Those are made to kill people too. That was a weapon of war.
Those were weapons of war.
I want an AR-15, and when my AR-15, so when I built my AR-15, my intent, she said everything's an intent. There's an intent for when you build something, right? I didn't build that as an intention to kill people. That's not what my intent was. Nope. My intent was to build an accurate rifle that if I went hunting with was great, and to target shoot with and have fun with. And if it came down to when I had to defend my family and defend myself, like Joe said it was made to do, that's what I did it for. I didn't build it and go, yeah, I'm going to kill a bunch of damn people with this thing. Hey, Kamala, that's the kind of people on your side that think of doing that with those kind of guns. People like me and Clay and people who watch our program, they don't think that way.
As we've been saying, how many times have I said it? If we were the evil people that the left and people like Kamala Harris always claim that we're these violent, horrible people that we're just out there shooting people and can't wait. You know what, Kamala and everybody else, you guys wouldn't be here if we were them kind of people, because we would take care of it and then we wouldn't deal with you. But see, we're not that way. We basically, we have a moral base. We know that we are law-abiding people. We don't just go around shooting people. We enjoy exercising our Second Amendment rights. Nothing more, nothing less. Damn, if I'm ever going to hand anything over to anybody that violates my rights. And I can tell you this, I will shoot freedom seeds as far and fast as I can if anyone comes to try and infringe on my rights.
Right on, right on. I love it, man. Hey, Austin, better late than never, buddy. Appreciate you joining in.
We're just getting started, Austin. You haven't missed much.
Yeah. So
I have to put this out here though right now, because we had a viewer send us something, and we'll put this up here, and it's what the founders intended. Remember?
Yeah. That's right. This is good.
Here it is. It says, own a musket for home defense, since that's what the founding fathers intended. 4 ruffians break into my house. What the devil? As I grab my powdered wig and Kentucky rifle, blow a golf ball-sized hole through the first man. He's dead on the spot. Draw my pistol on the second man, misses him entirely because it's a smooth bore, and nails the neighbor's dog. I have to resort now to the cannon mounted on the top of the stairs, loaded with grape shot. Tally-ho, lads. The grape shot, it shreds 2 men in the blast. The sound of the extra shrapnel sets off the car alarms. Fix bayonet and charge the last terrified rapscallion. Bleeds out waiting for the police to arrive, since triangular bayonet wounds are impossible to stitch up, which I have one of them bayonets. Just as the founding fathers intended. Amen. I love that one. Bill, you sent that to us. If you're listening, that was great when you sent that.
That was awesome. Right on.
That must
money
be what,
right there.
just like the founders intended, right?
Yeah. Hey, Austin, you're welcome, buddy. Put them things on the window with pride, baby. Love it. We're working on your can koozie too yet. So
being we're talking about that kind of stuff quickly, guys, those of you that ordered the leather can koozies, supplies have been ordered. They're being made. Of course, them are all handmade, really. I mean, he does the laser engraving, or the laser cut into the leather, but all that stitching's done by hand. So, Will, I know that you listen to the show and you usually catch it later. So we appreciate all the work you're doing on that. So
absolutely,
when we get them done, that's when we'll get you the information on how to send payment, because we want to take payment until we actually have the product in hand.
Yep.
Also, guys, I don't know if you can see that. Look at there. We got some brand new can koozies. Now, these aren't ready yet, guys, but we'll show them to you. We're working on this. This is just some prototypes we've been doing.
They're sweet. Yeah, they're sweet.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. These have the new and the older logos on, and then the back of them. And then my wife did the one with the little hunting gnomes, and she found another one with hunting gnomes.
They're pretty cool, actually. As soon as my youngest daughter saw that one, she snapped it up. And then I was actually showing some of those to the gals at the front desk at some dental offices I go into, and they're like, "I like the gnomes. That's cool." So, yeah, I think that's. And
I can tell you that at some point, I don't know if you can see this, guys. There we go. There's my Guns in a 701 sweatshirt.
That's pretty right there.
I'm taking one to Jamie tomorrow, because we had to have something for the man parade coming up next Monday.
Yeah,
but we will be having merchandise. I know there's been several people bugging me and Jamie for it, and we appreciate that. We truly do. Give us some time. We just ordered a new heat press so that we can start pressing them ourselves and make them. It'll be more of a production that way. And we can get that stuff out to you. We'll be able to bring it to you cheaper than if we went to somebody and had it made.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's where we're at.
You saw the craftsmanship. Clay and his wife do awesome work. And I mean, it does look really nice. They do great work.
I do it in all my free time.
You see, Randy. Don't forget the large Americans. Don't worry, we're thinking of you 340 pounders, 330.
This is double Bubba I'm wearing, by golly.
Yeah. Well, Big R's a lot bigger than you, Clay. So we're gonna have to go
Well, they make 3X.
He's a big old offensive tackle. I don't play
There we
college
go.
football. He's a large man. So
We'll
but
take
yeah.
care of him.
Yeah,
But yeah, well,
yeah.
we got that coming. And like I said, like I have all that free time in between campaigning and running Farm
Mhm.
Bureau stuff
Yeah.
and, you know, running the place.
Yeah. So
Doing a show.
we were on AR-15s. I know I was going to hit on this last week, and
Mm-hmm.
I never got to. Just kind of tie something together with Kamala's weapons of war and the guns we were using. You know, so we were down shooting prairie dogs, and I had one of my AR carbines, and I started doing it. And then the trigger wouldn't reset; it would periodically reset, and it wouldn't. And I was ejecting rounds, and I just put it to the side and didn't. You know, I kind of thought what the problem was and didn't really deal with it. And I just got my other gun out. And got way back to Bismarck. I told Axe, I said, I'll bet you any money a primer blew out of one of my reloads because the primer pockets were getting hogged out. And sure enough, I got back home and tipped. As soon as I opened it, saw a primer, shook it around, tipped it out, worked perfect. So if you ever get something on your trigger there on your AR that doesn't work,
Yep.
and that could be the problem. But ironically, went to work the next day, and my boss and his son and a bunch of other his family members are up duck hunting, and he said his son's semi-automatic Mossberg did the same thing. The trigger, it would go back, and he said it wouldn't function right. So he took it home and knocked the trigger out, and he was looking at it, couldn't figure out what was wrong, and he kind of tilted at an angle, and a little freaking kernel of wheat fell out of there, and that was stuck in his trigger group, and that was causing the same problem as a blowing primer in my AR. So
Wow.
if you ever got that problem, you know, something might not be broken, might be as simple as something down in your trigger group
Just down in there. Yeah.
Just a little bit of information for somebody. So
another quick thing is guys, I'm going to put a plug in for ourselves. Tomorrow we're joining Todd Mitchell on his new show. Mitchell morning
Mitchell in the morning.
Mitchell in the morning. KFYR 5:50 a.m. And I believe that's at 8:15 in the morning Central Time, right?
Yep.
And he's going to have us on there to talk about the show for a segment. And I think that's the lead in because we're now on iHeart. Actually, we're broadcasting now to well, it's not broadcasting live, but it uploads to what about 5-6 podcasting?
Yeah,
platforms?
Spotify. It's not on Apple too. It's not on Apple, but it's Spotify, and we'll get a picture of it and Clay can put up next week. But I mean, you know, if you can't get it on Spotify, we're on iHeart. Guns in the 701. Yeah, we had a little trouble right away doing it, but our IT man, T-man, he got us straightened out. So we're gonna see if after the show, if me and Clay can get it uploaded. So
we're gonna try it anyway.
Yeah. So if you're missing the show, and you know, we're gonna be on iHeart, and I listen to it not just because I like hearing my own voice, but I just want to see what it sounded like, and it worked great on iHeart. So share the hell out of
that. You and myself, we're probably our worst. We're probably the hardest critics on ourselves. But I can tell you this: yes, I went and listened to the shows too, and that's why we're getting better. I think because I see things we do and go, oh, we got to definitely change that. Yeah. But we appreciate all that stuff. Well, thanks. We appreciate that too. And iHeart's coming up, Spotify, and I don't know what the other ones were. So www.gunsandthe701.com. Hopefully when we're finished building that, you'll be able to just go there and find everything you need. Well, hopefully we'll have all the links there, and you can just follow them. That's the plan.
I put some hunting pictures up there. Not all of them are from recent times, but I mean, and then like I said, with antelope season coming up and bird season, like Clay said earlier, actually send us some pictures in. We'll get them up there. We'll get them on there, and we'll put them on our Facebook page. And you know, I think it's awesome. I don't have to be hunting if you're out shooting targets. You know, we'll do that too. You want to pose with your rifle? We love that kind of thing. So,
and if we get to a point, I'm hoping at some point here, if you guys are out having some fun like we do, I mean, I know it's not just us out on a range having some fun, coming up with some cool stuff. Send it to us. We'll air it.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll put it on the site, or we can air it here in a little clip. We're limited to right now with how big of clips we can do, but yeah, it's we're you know what, this is a two-way street. We enjoy the interaction with the guys listening. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you, Lynette. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, I hope that assault hammer ain't black, or you're just gonna have to turn that in.
Yep, then it's really bad if it's just.
And I got an East Wing too. I got my framing hammer. Yeah, it's I got the AR-10 hammer because mine's a big framing hammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got the worst one there, buddy. There's no
I don't
doubt
even know if I
about
could
that.
swing that thing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
So okay, so there was this other story I told Clay about. I mean, man, we're really kind of going on the AR thing here tonight.
we
So
are.
I'm
That
just
happens.
we're gonna keep going with that. It's from this is a story from guns.com. This man and his wife ordered this. It's like a big military storage box thing. I don't know how many AR was this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 6. Well, ARs, M4s, M16s. So they ordered a box thinking it was, this is a sweet storage box. It's waterproof, whatever.
Mhm.
They get it delivered. They get it delivered to their place down in Texas, and it turns out this thing's full of select fire M16. So they got the bonus plan. Of course, they called.
That would have been
They
awesome.
called the ATF right away, and boy, they were over there lickety split, just right on the spot. Not like just like they do when you order a suppressor. They're all over trying to help out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, and then you get the Houston police captain and former Marine here. It's unbelievable to think weapons of that grade, military grade weapons, would be shipped in containers, would be shipped across state lines. What does that have to do with it? Shipped across state lines? What does that have to do with the price of rice in China? And somebody have access to it. It's pretty shocking. And bottom of the story, which I get a kick out of this one, it says, "Cue up the Jesus. I've seen what you've done for others, and I want that for me," memes. I do want that for me. That would be awesome.
Oh man, if I would have bought a storage container with that in it, yeah, I think you know what I'd do with it.
Yeah. Turn it right back over, right, Clay?
Yeah, you bet.
So before, we're running low, and we got a few other things we want to hit on, but I'm just got to get this in real quick. District 35, my buddy Sean Cleary, he's a Republican running here. There you go. Yeah, that's his opponent there on the left, and the other two are running against other Republicans.
How long is that? What's his face? What text his name? He's been there for Potsy. How long has he been there?
Oh, Potsy's been running for every political office in this state for decades. He was senator here, and I don't know the last time he was, but the guy's a complete phony. There you go, right there too. District 35 is Biden clones, and that's a fact. They're acting like they're not, especially Morrison and Potter. They're acting like they're middle of the road, and they're not. I mean, that's just an old trick. But Sean Cleary, the District 35 Republican, he's debating Potsy right now on Dakota Community Access. I'll put the link up on my Facebook.
We'll be able to get some clips of that for next week.
Yeah. And Sean's A-rated by the NRA. Potsy, acts like he's Mr. Freedom and Liberty. He's got a D right there. His orange and black sign like he's a hunter or something. I don't know what he's trying to do with that. He's a D by the NRA. I'll give him credit. He actually filled out the questionnaire, which Kelly Armstrong's opponent didn't do. This Christiansen or whatever, who debated last night against Rick Becker, she didn't fill it out. Guess what? I couldn't find anything Second Amendment on any of her social media pages, on her website. So Clay and I talked about this. You do that, we think you're hiding something. We're just going to assume you're right along with the Democrat platform, the national platform, which is gun grab, gun ban, jump through as many loopholes as you can, and act like you still support the Second Amendment when actually you're a Second Amendment prohibitionist. So that's what she is. I'll promise you that. So is Caramond.
Well, in my opinion, if I find a politician or candidate, it's a very easy question. I'm a candidate for the North Dakota Sioux County Commission, and I've been asked a couple times, "What's your stance on the Second Amendment?" Well, obviously they didn't know me, but as it's pretty clear. It's 27 words. We have the right to keep and bear arms. It shall not be infringed. And as far as I'm concerned, if a federal agency or a federal agent comes into the county, the sheriff's duty as a sworn officer, and he's supposed to uphold and protect the citizens within that county, should arrest those federal agents if they infringe upon any constitutional right. I'm very pro Second Amendment. Well, you know me. I don't believe in a lot of these restrictions. I don't believe in a lot of things going on. That's why I fought so hard for constitutional carry. But if a candidate can't just even simply say, "I support the Second Amendment to its full intent of the 27 words, as they are clearly written," then I don't believe them. If they go, "Well, I'm for the Second Amendment, but No,
Like
no,
Kamala
they're
did.
not.
Like Kamala did in your clip. She's not for
There
the
is,
Second Amendment.
yeah,
She'd ban every gun if she could get away with
if
it.
she
She'd
could
do
do
it,
it, she'd take
except for
every
people
single gun.
protecting her and
Yep.
you know.
You know, it's like right now in the Senate race, Becker, and I like Rick. Yes, Rick is a friend, and he's a great, he's a great rep, and I think he'll be a great senator.
Yep.
Hovind didn't even show up for the debate the other night, and someone asked if we'd watched it. Unfortunately, on that, I could not watch it. I'm going to try to download it and watch it this evening. But I can tell you right now, I know where Rick stands on everything. Hovind didn't show up. Hovind's not doing anything. He must be a little scared with all the ads he's running. And I don't know if you saw the new ad that came out. Some PAC come out with one. They spent $100,000 in the state of North Dakota and just hammered Hovind on all of his positions.
Okay.
And Rick
Well,
is his Second Amendment, and I'm not going to say that John hasn't. John's been good on the Second Amendment as far as that particular issue. But Rick is outstanding. So I look at it like this: got two candidates that are Second Amendment pro-gun, but one of them is basically a rhino and votes for anything and everything, has ties with China doing bad things. The other one is a normal guy who is a conservative, and not just a conservative, he's a constitutional conservative, and he's got a voting record to prove it.
Yep.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's that
agree.
simple.
I don't hate John Hovind.
No.
I'll take him over any Democrat that's running against him. But man, we need somebody that's far more aggressive in there. And Rick Berg's not Rick Becker.
No.
Yeah,
And I can tell you,
Rick
guys,
Becker's a guy I'm backing. But
I run into this all the time. They go, well, if you vote for, say Rick, any of these guys that are running as independents, you're splitting our vote, and then the Democrat gets in. What's the difference? I'm done. I am so done voting for rhinos and soft guys we have a platform. The platform's actually real well in the GOP. I sit on our District 31 committee. I know exactly what that platform says. Follow the platform, you won't have a problem. If you don't follow the platform, then you're not a true constitutional conservative, and that is where the GOP is supposed to be rooted in. So to me, this isn't even a hard choice. I'm going to vote for the constitutional conservative, and I am done voting for guys that aren't.
right.
Because that's how we got here. I love how my old pastor put it. He goes, well, when my dad was alive, and you're talking here in the Roosevelt era, he said the Democrats were running towards socialism as fast as they could. He says the Republicans are just at a slow trot behind them. Boy, think about that now. Fast forward 90 years, and boom, here we are.
Yeah. Most of them are. There's a few good ones, but
there's
as a whole,
there are.
So we're getting towards the end here. Let's why don't you run up our first and newest sponsor here again, Clay? Let's put a few words in there and maybe hit a happy ending story here.
All right.
On right there. That's that's the mugs Clayton and I are drinking out of here. I don't know what Clay's got in his. I'm not telling you what's in mine, but Laurado, our buddy Axel Hondo. He's part owner of Laurado. Like I said before, Laurado. If you want to go somewhere where it's going to be Second Amendment patriots, right there. Your money's not going to be going to some gun grabber. That's your place to go right there. You're going to be treated honestly. I've had Axe fix a lot of my stuff. He's awesome at it. Him and the boys down there. Like hunting season's coming up. Get your hunting rig in there. Make sure that baby's in tip-top working order so you don't get stranded somewhere there's no cell service and you're cussing everything out and 30-point buck goes running away 2 miles from you.
Absolutely.
So, Laurado, we appreciate you being our first sponsor, and hopefully right there, there's a number 258-6308. 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck.
And we'll have some better. The plan is tomorrow when I'm in town, we're going to try to take a little video, make a little advertisement for him. Yep. And there's a couple other guys that are talking about coming on, and we really appreciate that. So I guess it shows the show is growing. Happy to have everybody's support, and we enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah. And I'll tell you guys this: if you enjoy this show, we got to support our own. So if you need something fixed on your vehicle, you got to support the companies and the businesses that are going to support shows like this.
Absolutely.
Some things might be inconvenient for you a little bit. I understand that, but otherwise, you're cutting your own throat. I mean, Colorado, you know that Clay and I aren't going to have anybody who's not 100% pro Second Amendment patriot on here, and Colorado is that they are that auto repair company. So support those kind of companies, and you're helping us, you're helping yourself, and you're helping North Dakota out for the better in the long run. So I'll tell you what, Clay,
1760 Sports, David Fetting, he's the same way. Just he's very much a pro Second Amendment as an FFL dealer and a patriot. You got Brandon down at Mandan Sporting Goods, and I know Brandon has talked about talking with us, and we'll see what happens there. But I know that Brandon's a very, very true blue patriot to the Second Amendment. So those are just some local businesses. But there is one thing we need to hit before we go here. And I know Stephanie's the one that contacted you, so I'm going to put that up. This is the Dakota Patriot Rally. You probably know a little more about it than I do because you talked to her, didn't you?
We texted briefly because of our friendship from friends of the NRA. But yeah, she was asking, kind of filling me in on this. But
here's the flyer. It's November 3rd, Dakota Patriot Rally. Looks like the special guest I'm guessing going to be speaking is retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Daniel Gade. He's a Purple Heart recipient. Doors open at 5 p.m. Central Time at the NDSF Center in Minot, North Dakota. They're advertising as a patriotic event filled with games, prizes, hearty meal, live auction, entertainment, and tickets are available at DakotaPatriotRally.com. Again, DakotaPatriotRally.com. And did she tell you what the money's for?
She said the money's going to be going towards helping get conservative candidates elected. So not people like Rick Becker. I don't know if Rick's going to be a recipient of any of the funds. I'd like to think he is, but there's going to be another one in South Dakota too. I thought she said, but this one's in mine. It's pretty much raising money to help conservatives get elected instead of soft Republicans or straight up rhinos. So
absolutely
let's. Before we go here, I'm going to hit up the happy ending story of the week, Clay.
All right, go for it.
So this one's coming to us from Atlanta, Georgia. We got Bibby County, Georgia, but the story was out of Atlanta, probably the Urinal Constitution or whatever they call their paper down there. Like Rush used to call it. The 67-year-old woman, she was out in her yard. Here comes this naked, deranged 25-year-old guy. Takes her off her, I guess, riding lawnmower, knocks her off, starts beating up on her, doing whatever. Her 66-year-old husband saw what was going on. He comes out, tries to pull this guy off. This guy turns around and starts beating the heck out of the husband. Then he, for whatever reason, stops, goes back over to the woman, starts beating her up. So the husband, he's got a little time here. He runs into the house, gets his firearm, shot this guy in the chest and killed him. The woman was taken to a nearby hospital, stable condition, let out, nothing. She was fine. The husband had minor wounds. He was treated at the scene. Guess what? No charges against him. The reason that's a happy ending story, this scumbag's dead, and the two good, decent Americans are still alive thanks to their firearm.
Absolutely. That is our happy ending, and we'd like to do that at every show.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to bring up one more thing now.
You bet.
Jamie and I we're going to a couple minutes over here, but we have the Man March coming up, and I didn't get this flyer till here just a little bit ago, but I'll definitely try to post it up on our Facebook. So Mandan, North Dakota, October 10th. That's next Monday, guys. Man March for Men in the Eyes of God. Trent Lusa organized this, and that all started in a conversation with Todd Mitchell on the show. So 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, they're meeting at Dykeshorn. Is that how you pronounce that?
Dykeshorn.
Dykeshorn Park. In Mandan, North Dakota. 4 p.m. The march in Mandan starts, and then 5 to 6:30. They're going to, I guess the march stands, or it ends at the Church of St. Joseph's, and then there's a kind of a meal and fellowship. It says, join us for a day of prayer, speakers, faith, fellowship, and a meal of burgers and beer. How about that? They don't get more manlier than that.
Oh, man.
Maybe Marty. Marty's going to be there. Maybe he can bring us in some coon or some beaver.
I want that beaver hat, man. We're going to run that beaver theme with our big thing on the shorts. I want to wear that beaver hat next week.
So we got featured speakers coming up at this. Is going to be Father Joe Waltz, Chief Philip Whitman Jr., Kevin Jenkins. And guys, I know Kevin is a great speaker. I've been to a few events where he spoke, so he's a great guy. Marty Beard and of course Trent Luce. They encourage families to attend. There's a free will donation that'll be taken. Again, that's the Man March. If any of you guys, maybe we can, you know what, maybe we can get this up on our website. We'll talk to T and see if we can't get that up there.
Yeah.
But anybody's interested in going, we welcome everybody to join us. We're going to be there with our banner and proudly displaying guns in the 701 and supporting being men. And that's what this is about. And not like they're thinking.
There's nothing wrong with it.
We are at a point where we have very, very mentally ill people confused about what gender they are. Are you kidding me? And that's what started and sparked this whole thing. So, guys,
being a man's toxic masculinity to them, and it's not. So one thing here, I'll address quick in the comments, Clay. One shot cap. Didn't some law enforcement take away guns from gun owners in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina? Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Thanks to Mayor Ray Nagin, who was convicted. The guy's a freaking criminal. The NRA actually sued the city of New Orleans, got their guns back and won. You know, for those of you, the NRA doesn't do nothing. Yeah, they did. They got these people.
I was working for NRA when that happened, and NRA, that was their top priority. I remember we was out there then in December, after that had happened, and even at our summer meeting that year, and that was one of their top priorities because they didn't want that precedent set. I mean, there was a lot of things going on. Of course, a lot of NRA members down there, and they stepped up to the plate, and they made it their top priority to make sure that the rights were not going to be ignored. And they won that case, and they were able to return those guns, as many as they could, to those people. So, yes, absolutely. All right.
Well, once
again, guys, Man March.
Yep. Man March. Monday,
October
Clay and
28th. October 28th. Also, we got the Friends of NRA coming up.
Hey, we're doing
October
a live
28th.
on that. Aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Try to do a live there.
That's the plan. We're gonna probably set out there in the hallway, before you go into the banquet. And we'll do a little live.
If you interview me, you come in and let me and Clay interview you. Yeah,
I think we'll try to have a few things.
Get yourself one of them sweet decals just like that behind me.
Absolutely, right, but we want to interview people and put them on with us, and just probably I want to ask why you're there, and just any general questions. If you want to get on there and say, "Hey, Mom, Dad," whatever, but we'll have you on.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
If you're carrying,
my mom's going to be there, so.
Show us you're carrying. We support the Second Amendment. We're not afraid of that.
100%.
Proudly display it.
I encourage it.
If we can get that rolling and get that set up, that is the plan, is to set up and do a live from there October 28th. And doors open at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. It's at the old 7 Seas. It's called the Baymont, guys, but everybody knows it's the 7 Seas. But it's up there on Red Trail Drive or something. So older. So don't forget tomorrow, 8:15 to about 8:30 maybe, KFYR 5:50 a.m. Clay and I are going to be on with Mitchell in the morning talking about the show here. I don't know if you're going to hear anything new. We're just going to kind of promote the show, I guess, a little bit and tell Todd what it's all about and the listeners. But if you guys tune in, we appreciate that. Yeah. So, all right, guys, we're going to call tonight. Hey, 7:06, 8:06 Central. So we did pretty good. We're trying to keep these at an hour. I encourage you guys, check out the website, www.gunsin701.com. Please go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, share. Subscribe is a big thing, guys. When we actually hit 1,000 subscribers, which we're close, really, for as little time as we've been on the air. Yeah, we're that close. So share with your friends, encourage them to do it, because that opens up a whole lot of things that we can do on there. Then finally, we can
maybe start making a little money, and I say a little,
bringing a better show.
What we need here, we're just gonna. It ain't like me and Clay are gonna be like, we got it now.
It ain't like I'm gonna be retiring again.
Well, and don't forget, we're gonna iHeartRadio, Spotify, and other podcasts. We're gonna be on there, and also. If you don't catch it, tell your friends who can't watch the show live. If they can't watch the replay there on YouTube, whatever, we're on, listen to the podcast rolling down the road or something, heading down I-94, wherever you're going.
Yeah, and check out the videos at YouTube. We got them all posted there. And
we're going to have more coming this weekend.
Yep, and we're going to start getting those. We're going to start to get those uploaded onto our website as well. Hey, Braden Mitchell, I got to give you a shout out. That is one of my son's friends, and the kid is a great kid. So we got them of all ages here, guys, listening and tuning in. And I tell you what, he's come out. I've let him do some shooting out here. Just a great kid. He helps out. So Braden, I'm glad to have you listening. So.
Awesome. I'll tell you what, guys. Brian Warner, if my dad gets another one, we'll make him do a complete backflip, not just a nice slow 180 back.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, we'll sign off, guys. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. 7:01 again, 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We appreciate everything. Check out www.gunsandthe701. Keep your powder dry. Till next week.